Happening now on DC News Now at noon, school walkouts across the state of Virginia. What students have to say about the governor's new anti-transgender policies. And a search for a murder suspect, how DC police are looking for a man who shot at officers, and other reasons why they want to find him.
And it's certainly turned into another beautiful day out there, but the wind, it's still been a constant so far. How much longer until these breezy conditions start to wrap up? We'll let you know in just a bit.
Damon, thank you, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Happening now, hundreds of students have been walking out in protest to Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin's policy for transgender students. DC News Now's Christy Matino joined us live, and she's been covering them all morning long. And Christy, are we expecting more walkouts anytime soon?
Hey Mark, so I'm here at Thomas Jefferson High School, and actually the students just did walk out. You can't see them right now, but they came out of that dome over there and they walked around the back of the school. It was maybe about 20 or so of them, and they're just one group of students that have been walking out all morning. Actually, 100 schools in Northern Virginia have been walking out all morning. We were at some of those, or a bit earlier this morning, we were at Annandale High School just a little while ago. And this right here, these are the revised model transgender policies from the Virginia Department of Education. This is what has people so upset today, and now they're asking the VDOE to revoke those draft guidelines. And one of those revisions says staff will have to refer to students by their pronouns that were on their official school record. Another revision says that students will have to use the bathrooms that were assigned to their sex at birth. And we spoke to a few of those students a bit earlier today at these walkouts, and they tell us now they're concerned for the students who will have to come out to their parents against their will if these guidelines go through. But as we were just saying, lots of walkouts were held here today. We saw them all across Northern Virginia, Arlington, Prince William County, Loudoun County, and especially here in Fairfax County. 27 schools in Fairfax took part in these walkouts today. Mark?
Thank you so much. Well, developing now, what started as a barricade situation this morning has turned into a search for a murder suspect. DC News Now's Lex Juarez is live on the scene with the latest from police. And Lex, what's happening out there?
Yeah, Mark, that search has been ongoing for hours this morning. Police are looking for 27-year-old Avery Miler, who was actually first spotted on this block of Ames Street behind me here. Now, Miler is wanted for first-degree murder in a shooting that happened August 10th right in this same neighborhood. Police say that a woman who lives here called to report seeing him around 6:30 this morning. When officers got to the scene, he pulled out a gun and started shooting at them. No one was hurt, but while officers pulled back to safety, Miler ran away. Now, there is a perimeter that's been set up in this neighborhood. The police have shortened that perimeter in the past 30 minutes, but officers tell me they are actively looking for him, along with the help from ATF and U.S. Marshals. Police stress the importance of calling them if someone sees him.
He's a black male. He was last seen wearing all black clothing. He had on some form of reflective shoes, and he had white lettering or writing or symbols down the sleeve of his shirt.
And here is another look at Miler. Now, police say that he does frequent this area and the neighborhood, which is Lincoln Heights. Now, the ongoing search has impacted one school in the area. KIPP DC Arts and Technology did not open today as a result of what was going on this morning. Mark?
Well, let's talk about that. And, you know, speaking of schools being impacted, this was an active morning for several schools in the area. Talk about that.
Yeah, Mark, that was actually a separate situation that had to unfortunately happened right here in this same neighborhood. Around 9:30, there were shots that rang out in the streets. I actually heard them myself, multiple shots, and there was no one injured in that shooting, but it did cause multiple schools in the area to go on lockdown, and for one school to actually start their active shooter protocol. Now, all of the schools were cleared. They all had officers posted up at the schools. They said there was no active shooter threat at all, no injuries in that shooting, and that, out of an abundance of caution, those schools did do that, but there was no danger to the schools. And that is a separate situation from this incident here with the suspect that they are looking for. For now, live in Northeast D.C., I'm Lex Juarez, D.C. News Now.
Lex, thank you. And developing now calls to stop spiking the rent. People who live in Laurel, Maryland are claiming they almost got priced out of their homes because it became too expensive to live there. Now those renters are asking the city council for help.
I received a letter from our new landlord who told me that I had to move in 60 days or my rent would increase double to $1,600.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I was in tears. My parents are like, move back home. I've been here 17 years. I don't want to move back home. So
they want to stay in Laurel. They love our city. And therefore, that's why we have to do something to regulate these landlords that are jacking these rents sky high.
Yeah, they're calling on the city to pass a measure that would limit how much landlords can increase rent. City Council member Carl DeWalt told us that Laurel used money from the American Rescue Plan to offset some of the hikes and help some renters. DeWalt and other council members confirmed to DC News Now that they are working to pass a measure for more reasonable rent increases. As the Tampa, Florida area prepares for Hurricane Ian, the federal government has already started helping out those in its path. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson takes a closer look.
The White House says federal resources are already rolling in to help Floridians brace for Hurricane Ian.
It's important that federal resources is provided for the people of Florida. That is the most important thing.
7,000 National Guard members are now activated, and the pre-landfall emergency declaration was approved. Additionally, some schools are closing and road tolls were removed to encourage people to evacuate.
To make sure that we are there for them in this time of need.
The National Hurricane Center predicts Ian could deliver a life-threatening storm surge up to 10 feet in and around the Tampa Bay area.
And wherever those needs are up and down this coast, Florida DEM is going to work with FEMA to make sure that folks get the relief that they need.
And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has this message for people rushing to empty store shelves.
There's no need to panic buy. If you normally don't drink a lot of water, you may not need to go out and buy 20 gallons of water right now. So just do what you need to be prepared.
And that was Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson reporting that later today, the FEMA administrator will speak at the White House on other steps that they are planning to take to help. Damon, we know that certainly that those folks in Florida are going to be impacted. We can just hope that they can get through it.
Exactly, Mark. Yeah, hopefully those that needed to get out did already, because this hurricane is bearing down on the state of Florida as we speak. And hopefully those that are staying, they are prepared, because this is going to be a nasty storm. A look on the satellite picture again. This storm made it over Cuba. You can see that its eye structure is still very much intact. And now we just have to watch as it does approach the Gulf Coast of Florida here through the rest of today, and then impacting those areas as early as tomorrow morning, lasting through Thursday and Friday as well. So one to watch, no doubt, down to the south. Now back closer to home here, we've been dealing just with some breezy winds the last couple of days that are sticking around once again. There you go, westerly winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. We will start to see things calm down a bit